What is going on, everybody? Welcome to today's live stream. Today we're going to be talking about APED token being a scam on base. This is actually a active pre-sale that was going on these last couple days, and they actually went ahead and launched the token today. And we're going to go ahead and look carefully into why I believe this thing was a scam from the beginning. I actually even mentioned it to Dabmaster when I hopped on a phone with him, and I was like, dude, honestly, you know what? We should be careful with this one. Don't ape too much, because there's a possibility that there's going to be a total rug pull. I mean, look at this freaking chart, man. You can't make any of this up. So in today's video, we're going to talk about that pre-sale scam. We're going to go ahead and talk about cryptocurrencies in general, how Bitcoin is doing, what we could be expecting from altcoins and meme tokens. I do believe a rebound will be happening, and as well, what else are we going to talk about? Man, that's pretty much it. So hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. So let me go ahead and check if we are officially live on my end. Looks like we are. I don't know why my freaking what is it called? My thumbnail is not showing up. That is freaking horrible. I hate when that thing happens, man. It's like it's always one thing after another. How's it going, Happy? Hope you're having a good one today. Let me go ahead and head over to YouTube real quick, and let me go ahead and start sharing the live stream with the community. Like, dude, I literally put in a lot of effort into this this thumbnail just to not even be able to show up on screen, right? Like, look, what the heck is this, man? What the heck is this? Like, can we change it? I'm gonna go ahead and change that right now. How's it going, Happy? Hope. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me go ahead and change the image, because that pisses me off. You know, I put in that work for that. See, it does show up right here, which is quite interesting, but it doesn't show up on the actual live stream. I think the thumbnail was pretty cool, you know what I mean? Anyways, with that being said, let me go ahead and share this with the community. So give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and refresh the page back up. That way, if I'm having any technical difficulties, I know what's going on. So let me go ahead and share this with the community real quick. And welcome, everybody. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. Jonathan, how's it going, bro? Glad to see you too, bro. Let me know if this is a good time for you to go ahead and hop on. I'm trying to change up the time on the streams. The goal is to go ahead and live stream every day. I definitely miss live streaming, man. I miss live streaming. I miss all of you. And most importantly, I miss talking about crypto, man. Like, literally, it's like I feel like I feel alive again, man. Honestly, as sad as it sounds, like I feel alive. Like I was quite bored this whole entire month, but as I mentioned, it wasn't, you know, out of choice that I stopped with the altcoin John channel. As I mentioned, I tried whatever I could to keep that channel, and unfortunately, I got into something I can't really speak on right now, but I'll speak on it in the future. Like I said, I don't think it's important anyways. What matters is that we are back. Yes, we are starting from zero, but that is okay. Good to see all of you. So let me go ahead and share that with the community. I'm making my W right now, so I apologize for that. And we're going to go ahead and talk about TA. So let me go ahead and share this last, what is it, tweet. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. We are live. Oh, I didn't even see your messages, bro. We are live. I don't hop on Twitter too much. I'll definitely check those out in a bit, bro. If you could go ahead and comment them down below what you were talking about, definitely do that. So let's go ahead and talk about this this scam, right? This APE token being a scam. So I actually participated in this token a few days ago. I only told a few of you. I think some of those that are in my group, I told all of you, you know, just be careful. I only threw in about like $180 just to not go ahead and risk too much. I was like, whatever. Let's go ahead and see where this thing goes. Let's be honest, most of these pre-sales are freaking scams, man. Like 9 out of 10. I think I've probably only been in like 2 or 3 pre-sales my whole entire time in crypto. And I've been in crypto for a while, right? Since 2017, and I've only had success with 3. So that should kind of tell you a lot about how pre-sales usually go, right? The thing back in the day were ICOs. That's what they used to call them, ICO, IDOs. It's like every season they change up the kind of scams they do, right? And this being on base, like I'm like, dude, this is freaking bullish. Let's go ahead and do it. But I did find a few red flags, right? And we're going to go ahead and talk about those today. They said they're going to go ahead and relaunch this token. I don't think it matters. Either they're terrible at launching, something really happened, but there's just a lot of shady stuff that just makes sense but don't make sense, right? If that makes any sense. So we're going to go ahead and start off with what they said right here. It says, it appears we have encountered some turbulence at launch. Team is investigating and looking into the matter to see whether it's an issue with the base blockchain or an issue with the contract. Like, bro, come on, man. This is not Solana. Pre-sale funds and LP are safe. Team is here to stay and will announce steps to move forward as soon as possible. I joined the Telegram. You can't chat. One thing that I have noticed, they did block the chat a lot on Telegram, which to me was already kind of bearish. I'm like, dude, you can't keep up a chat locked up for that long. As well, they were having spaces with Mario Nafo. I think it's the way you pronounce his name. Nafo. This guy hosts a lot of Twitter spaces. He's around the space. But anyways, they made a few spaces with him. So I was like, maybe maybe it is going to be bullish, right? But one of the other red flags that we actually saw was that the day they actually released a pre-sale, a fake mod, I don't know how a fake mod goes in there, pretended to be an actual mod and somehow had access to the locked chat when they locked it. And they actually went ahead and released a fake address to go ahead and send funds and a document signed, like maybe to go ahead and do some sort of a malicious attack in the back end. But anyways, everybody's like, how did this person that was not in the team get access to the Telegram when it was locked? You know what I mean? So like they came out with this BS. Long story short, that they weren't aware that, you know, somebody in the back end with the outsourced team they hired, it was like an internal thing where like one of the mods ended up making another person a mod that they should have never made a mod. It's like a lot of this BS, right? You could go back to the spaces if they even have them back up, right? So that was a BS. I think people sent a little bit over $150,000, right? So they hop in another space with Mario, and they're kind of like put on spot at this point where they're like, oh man, you know, there's a lot of scams going on. Like, what are you guys going to go ahead and do with what happened, right? And they're like, oh, you know what? We're going to go ahead and issue the money. They didn't end up issuing the money because they did a community vote where they're like, issue your money or you will issue you tokens, and everybody chose tokens, right? And that was about 150,000. So they raised about a total of, I think, $3 to $4 million is what they raised. Jonathan says it's 3:20 in Amsterdam. No worries. Have later on night shift anyways. Awesome. Perfect, bro. So this is what happened, right? So that's the whole entire story on that end. So that's already kind of like fishy, right? Yeah, I was talking that maybe whales are moving slowly to Ton blockchain for the next ones. Yes, bro, Ton blockchain is going to be the next play. Like, this is the reason why my channel is now called DeFi John. So I really will be focusing a lot into DeFi tokens. Leverage trading is still going to be a thing, but I will be doing like farming, providing LP, becoming a market maker, which is the same thing. Staking. We're going to be focusing on new blockchains like such as Ton. Degen. So that's what the goal is moving forward. Ton is now above Doge. Oh, damn, dude. No, I know Ton is like super freaking bullish, bro. So go ahead and do me a huge favor, by the way, for all those that are watching. Go ahead and smash that like button for me on CoinMarketCap. We'll definitely go ahead and check that out. But yeah, we were talking about that dog token on Ton, and we talked about how Ton is going to be extremely bullish, right? So we will definitely go ahead and be talking about that. But back to the APE token, right? So this happens, which is already kind of bearish to begin with. The Telegram's always locked, bearish. But this is where the fishy things start to happen, right? I actually reached out to my buddy, Dabmaster, and I told him, I was like, dude, you know what? I feel kind of iffy about this launch. Like, there's a lot of red flags that are raising. And one of the biggest ones that I've realized and I kind of noticed is this other token called Poon. So the day that they were actually they were actually raising funds for, what is this token called? APED. This token Poon went live, right? And the interesting thing about this is that there's no coincidence that they would have the same freaking artist, bro. There's no coincidence, right? Maybe let's just say they somehow came across the same freaking artist, which is like, dude, like, how is that even possible, right? But let's just say it is, because we see a lot of similar drawings and all that the same in the space. But one thing that I found very interesting is not only is the animation similar to Ape, but it's also very similar to the way that they send tweets, the way they type, I guess if you want to call it, the way they text. And it's actually interesting, right? Because when they're doing these investigations online, like for cyber crimes and all of this stuff, I'm not sure if you know, but there's obviously a way how people communicate, right? It's like the same way you speak, whether you have an accent or you don't, the way you say certain words, the way you pronounce certain things. In person, you could go ahead and catch that through voice, right? But online, that is all done through the way you type, if you want to call it. The way you post, right? The time. There's some similarities that you can go ahead and see. So, you know, what are the odds that the art is very freaking similar, man? I mean, look at this. Like, it's high level art. It's not cheap, man. It's not cheap. They obviously invested a lot of money into this, and the kind of partnerships and tweets that they were getting to go ahead and hype this project up, to me, was iffy. It's like, how did this project come out of nowhere, has all this money to go ahead and market? I'm pretty sure there's Mario Nafo, whatever his name is charging a good chunk to get hosted on the space. Like, there's no way, unless he was part of it, that it was for free. But you could just see very similar. The art pieces are very, very alike if you compare these to one another. And also, one thing that I found very interesting, and they might have already deleted it, right? Because if you go back to Poon, a lot of their tokens have not a lot of their tokens, sorry, a lot of their live spaces that they once had, they got rid of them. They deleted the post. So, like, why would they go ahead and make the spaces unavailable, right? That to me was super, super fishy. But I'm going to go ahead and see if I could go ahead and show you this right here, right? Look. Poon on base, right? Just look at the way the wording is, the way it's set up. And then if we go ahead and head over to Ape, like, it's literally almost similar. Like, it's like the same person doing these freaking posts. Like, you can just kind of tell. I'm not sure if that makes any sense. Let me know down below if I'm just, like, overthinking this. But I'm pretty sure I'm correct, man. And I'm pretty sure if this is not the same team, there's somewhat, maybe some of the team members are similar. But I'm pretty sure they're working together. And I'm almost pretty confident that is the same dev, dude. It's like the same dev, the same team, because it would make sense that, you know, they launch this token Poon. Now they have all these marketing funds to go ahead and push Aped, right? So if you just go ahead and look and scroll through their Twitter, you see some very similar similarities to the way they go ahead and tweet, right? Like this post right here. This one looks very similar in my opinion. Maybe I'm just overthinking it and I'm like, nah, dude, you're tripping. Could be. But I literally saw one that was very, very similar. And that's when I told Dabmaster, my buddy, I was like, dude, you know what? Like, there's this token called Poon. They did pretty bad when they launched. And then to make it even better, they look very similar to Ape. So I kind of think it's the same team, man. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Regardless of the fact, what I'm trying to say is that obviously pre-sales are going to be scams. So I'm already in 2 pre-sales, man. I really don't expect much from Ape. That's why I only threw in like 180 bucks. And look, it just like stop sending money to the pre-sale wallet. We will refund yesterday. This is on Poon. And if you go back to Ape, you'll see a very similar format of the way they tweet, right? Maybe slightly changed, but man, no, you're not fooling anybody, in my opinion. Like, I don't think like anybody would be dumb enough to be like, dude, there's no comparison to this one. Like, similar art, like there's no way, man. And then if we go over to Poon, we're gonna go ahead and see if even the spaces are available, right? Actually, this one's available. That's surprising. Interesting. So I take that back. It's weird. So like at the time when I was doing the research, I realized that they weren't actually available. So I guess that's on me. Poon is made by Goku and aped by John. Interesting. I know who those people are in the space, but I don't. Anyways, what I'm saying is Poon, regardless of the fact, is not doing good. So I mean, what do you really have to say about that, right? Poon is not really doing any good. And then we went ahead and saw Aped, and all it did was dump. I don't even think I got my freaking tokens, bro, to be honest. So I don't know what the heck happened there. We're gonna go ahead and see and follow up if anything happens. I don't expect much, to be honest. I don't expect much to happen in the next coming days. So we'll see where things go. But besides the fact, yeah, pre-sales are going to be scams, man. We kind of talked about this in the past, how what they usually do is that they have this big, huge, successful launch on one of the projects, and then as soon as that one does really good, they pretty much just make everybody get greedy and start dumping all this money into pre-sales. And then what happens is that all these pre-sales become freaking scams, pretty much. Oh, I'm just joking. It was a Saphirium reference. Dude, maybe it's freaking Saphirium. What I'm trying to say overall is that obviously the people that are launching these tokens are not new to the space. Like, they probably rugged so many projects like this. And one thing that I don't comprehend, and I probably never will, is why launch a project when you could just walk out with all the money, man? Like, I would have just rather walk out with, you know, 5-10 million dollars, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's like, why go ahead and like launch it and go through the hassle of like going through these exchanges and all that? See, what I'm thinking is that one of the maybe main reasons why they do that is, one, to go ahead and wash their money, maybe to make it a lot difficult to go ahead and track through all the transactions. I guess that would make sense. And two, I guess, so they won't completely tell everybody that it was a scam. They'll just blame it on something else, like you know, market conditions, or we got exploited, or some BS. You know, so the thing that's interesting though is that Poon is listed on a few exchanges. So we're gonna go ahead and see where Poon is, man. Unfortunately, I bought Poon right here at what I thought was a dip at 0.008. And look where it's at right now. It's at 1.5 million market cap. I bought it at like the high 6 millions, and I thought that was going to be safe. And it turns out that it wasn't safe. So we'll see where things go. Right now, I am pretty bullish on base. I did take an L on Poon. I did put in a little bit of money, pretty much like about $100, 150. Worthless. It's literally not worth anything. Like, if I was to take it out, I would get nothing in return. I ended up selling my position on base SHIB. I think this is going to be a good one, but I poured in more money into Andy, which Andy's doing very, very well right now. So congratulations on everybody that jumped into Andy. I think Andy will continue to go up, and we will be seeing a 30 million plus market cap in the next coming days. And we actually did touch that. It's actually the previous resistance. So this resistance that we have right here is actually the 30 million market cap right here on Andy. So I haven't talked to many of you publicly about Andy. I've talked to a lot of you privately on my Discord, by the way, which is for free. So I would recommend all of you to go ahead and join my Discord. Depending on if you're watching this live right now or pre-recorded, you could go ahead and join my Discord. I'll go ahead and put the link on the description, or you could go ahead and see my past videos. But you could go ahead and join right here. And I've been calling out a lot of freaking plays on base, right? And I even called out GameStop, and I got in at like under 100k market cap, and it hit 2 million. Unfortunately, I held on to it. I didn't sell, so I just sold today at a like break even, sold profit, like kind of like profits, but not too crazy. I could have sold a few days ago. I could have made $500 and ended up only pulling $100 right now, which I threw back into Andy because I was like, you know what? GameStop, I do believe in GameStop, but the thing is that this thing just dumped very, very quickly, and it doesn't seem like it's the bottom has been found. Maybe this is the bottom. Maybe I sold the bottom, but honestly, like, I would rather be safe, pull out my $100, which I could have pulled out over 500 right here, but I didn't. Right? I was like, nah, I think this is gonna hit 10 million, and it didn't. And that's when we had the whole entire market correction crash. These last couple days, but I do believe a bottom is coming in, right? And we're actually seeing that right now in front of our faces. And with GameStop, I ended up pulling out like about $100 right now that I had left. I bought in at like very, very low, under 100k. I threw in like $30, man. So like 30 bucks, and then I put in another like 60 bucks, I think, or 70 at like 600,000 market cap. So I guess you could pretty much say that I'm like negative 50 bucks. But dude, honestly, I would rather just take out my 100 bucks right now and throw it into a safer project, which there's no such thing as safe, but in my opinion, I think that's Andy on base and Benny, right? Andy, I've been holding on for Andy for a while too. I bought Andy back right around this zone right here at this top, like usual. I'm good at buying tops. And then I would just went ahead and I dollar cost averaged myself all the way down. Held all the way to 30 million, didn't sell any profits because I'm holding this for a little bit more of a longer term, right? Maybe this next run up, I'll take some profits, but even with after this top, I ended up loading up right here again. I bought the dip right here, and I just bought the dip literally right now before I went live again right there, right? So I have just been buying the dips as much as possible with Andy. I do think Andy is going to go over 100 million market cap, and the reason why I say that because there's actually an Andy on ETH. The Andy on ETH actually hit 150 million market cap. So this is one of the main reasons why I'm bullish on Andy. And if we actually go ahead and take a look at Andy on ETH, which I'm going to go ahead and pull the charts on right now. Okay, so there's a few. There's Andy on Blast. People are betting on Andy on Blast, but I think we're about the same market cap from Andy on base and Andy on Blast. See, it's at 11 million. We're about the same. So let's go over to Ethereum. And then this is Andy on ETH. I really feel like their picture, they could have done a lot better, man. I think so as well. Pepe's friends narratives. Yes, man. Anything with related with Pepe, I think is going to do very, 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 very good. Anything Pepe related and anything that has to do with the presidential election, I think everything, all of that's also going to be very, very good. I don't know what Mog coin is, bro. I've been always hearing about Mog. Mog this, Mog that. Damn, dude, this thing really took off. No freaking way. That's insane. A 20x? I always heard about Mog coin, but I never understood what it was. Oh, the little glasses. What the heck is Mog? Interesting. I've been in this space for a while, but I never bothered to look at it. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. We were talking about Andy on ETH. Kona, right? Trump's dog. Yes, dude. That's on Ton, right? If I'm not mistaken. Alrighty, so looking at Andy on ETH, as I mentioned, this thing did top off at 150 million market cap. And check this out. There's some like little insider scoop, not really, but I did make a video yesterday and I talked about what I believe is going on and what is happening currently right now between Andy on base and Andy on ETH. So you want to listen up very, very carefully. Whatever you're doing, pay attention to this, right? Because I made the video yesterday and I tried uploading it today, right? So last night in order for it to go live today. Unfortunately, I was having file corruptions with the video and I wasn't able to upload it. So I have to remake the video. Unfortunately, but I guess fortunately, right? And within that time, I was talking about how I believed Andy on base was going to get ready to go ahead and blast off. And I realized that there's some sort of correlation, an inverse correlation. So every time Andy on ETH goes up, Andy on base goes down. Every time Andy on base goes up, Andy on ETH goes down. So what I find very, very interesting is if you go ahead and take a look at this right here, look at this zone right here on Andy on ETH, right? If you go ahead and take a look at this right here, you do go ahead and see that Andy on ETH was falling during the zone right here, right? Around April 7th, right? Now, if we go ahead and compare the chart to Andy on ETH, or sorry, Andy on base, you're going to go ahead and see that within that zone right there, within this zone right here, we were actually pumping. Look at this. So I think there's some sort of inverse correlation to this. Look at that. Around April 5th to April 9th, it mooned as high as April 11th, right? And look at this right here. It topped off at around April 6th, and it didn't start mooning until it started the reversal at April 11th. And that's where Andy on base found its top on April 11th. Andy on ETH was when it found its bottom. So as soon as Andy on ETH started to pump, as you can go ahead and see right here, from April 14th and up, if you go ahead and compare the chart to Andy on base, you actually see that that's where it started going down. And today is the 17th to the 18th, right? Today's the 18th. If you're watching this video right now, today's the 18th, April 18th. You see Andy on base now finally finding its area of support. And the crazy thing about this is that I mentioned this on the video that I was supposed to go live today. It was a pre-recorded video. So my analysis seems to be working so far. We're going to go ahead and see if the correlation actually is an inverse correlation between those two assets. But looking at Andy on base, looks like this could potentially be the bottom. Like that means that we're going to go ahead and go 60 to 80 million market cap next. I think that's our goal, because our top was around 28 million market cap, was around this zone right here. So if we were to double that, we could go ahead and say give or take 45 to 50 million market cap is coming in the next coming days to weeks, maybe a week and a half, maybe in the next 3 days this thing hits 50 million. I don't know. But what I am telling you is that there seems to be some sort of inverse correlation. Andy on ETH right now, as you can see, it finally has topped. It hit 150 million market cap and now is currently at 99. It's literally dropped, if you go ahead and measure this, I think a little bit over 40% or 30%. Yeah, 38% from its top. So what we're seeing right now is we're going to see Andy on ETH right now look for its bottom. And its bottom should be around right here. Its new area of support should be within the zone right here. Within this whole entire zone, we should be seeing Andy on ETH hold this area. I do think we should dump a little bit more, but who knows? Maybe this is the bottom for Andy on ETH, and then it has another run up. So currently right now, that's the correlation that I've noticed. I don't know if this correlation is going to hold up for too long. I'm not sure if this is actually a correlation to it, but I do believe that Coden Trump's dog. No, it's on ETH. Interesting. I got to look into that. Conan. We're going to look into Conan right now. So this is what I found very interesting. We'll see where things go. But with that being said, if you look at Andy on ETH, we're not that far away from Andy on base. I mean, Andy on ETH has about 9,000 holders. We have 11,000 holders. So we actually have more holders than Andy on ETH, which is actually very, very interesting. I think the only difference is I think we might have a little bit more supply. And also as well, Andy on ETH did already get listed on a few exchanges. So in my opinion, a lot of people are betting that Andy on ETH is going to be the big move. I mean, obviously it's hot trending number 2 right now, but I believe it's going to be Andy on base. So I'm really betting on this narrative. I do think Andy on base will go ahead and hit 50 to 100 million market cap very, very freaking soon. So if you are looking for an entry, as I mentioned, this might be the entry. I don't know. If worse comes to worse, this is the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is if this is a head and shoulders pattern, which honestly looks like one, I'm not going to lie to you. If this is the head and shoulders pattern and we see this kind of move where we get rejected at around this zone right here and we dump, worst case scenario is we consolidate in the zone for a while, maybe a few weeks before we go ahead and actually see a breakout to the upside and approach 100 million market cap, right? I would say this is the worst case scenario. Like worst case scenario, we don't pump like in the next coming days. Like we get rejected here, we consolidate, or we slightly go up, we get rejected, and then we just stay in the zone for a few weeks to a few days. before we see a major move, right? That's the worst case scenario. The most bullish case scenario is that this is officially the bottom, and by the time you're probably watching this video, we're probably already going to be approaching and getting closer to that new all-time high, or that previous all-time high, making new all-time highs. That's like the most bullish case scenario. I think regardless of the fact, I think both scenarios are pretty bullish. If we are in this consolidation zone, I wouldn't mind, because that just means that would be more of an opportunity for me to load up my bags on Andy on base before it makes a major move to the upside. So I believe regardless of the case, this is very freaking bullish, right? So not financial advice, but let's go ahead and take a look at Conan. Dude, they need to make a Conan on base, bro. That would be the real freaking play. Yeah, look at this, man. Frick. This thing's just freaking pumped. So I guess this is Trump's dog. There's a reason why this is freaking bullish, man. You can't make this thing up. Look at him right there. Man, memes are freaking hilarious. But yeah, dude, I think this is going to be the next play too. Conan, I mean, obviously I would wait for some sort of bottom. It looks like we have reached some pretty big highs. So I would just patiently wait. I mean, this is over a 30 freaking X, man, I think. Because this is 32,000%. I think that might be over a 30X. So super freaking bullish on that. Anyways, another token that I'm very... Oh, I'm glad I sold GME, man. Dumped 17% today. Benny. Benny is another token I'm super freaking bullish on. I'm like really bullish on Benny. This thing is... I don't even know what Benny is, man, to be honest. Benny is the Coinbase's director's pet's dog. So that's the reason why Benny's freaking bullish, man. There's not really much to say about that. Like, we know that the narrative with big players, celebrities, whatever the case is, usually if they have pets, and especially if they're dogs, and we're going to have dog season in the next coming days, I think, or weeks, that would mean that tokens such as Benny will pump, right? I mean, it's the same thing with Conan, you know, Trump's dog. Same exact thing. So very similar thing. That's really the reason why I'm bullish on Benny. Same thing with Benny. I got in with Benny pretty freaking early on too, man. I got in at Benny within the zone right here. I actually got in on Benny right here within the zone. I just wish I would have loaded up more. My bad. I got allergies right now, man. But I wish I would have loaded up right now with Benny at the zone right here, because this is actually when I came across Benny. I didn't load up too crazy. I wish I would have. But I'm still in profit. So there's really not much on my end right now with Benny. You know what I mean? I'm doing pretty good on Benny, still holding on to this position. I think this is a position you should consider buying as well. Obviously not financial advice. It looks like a bottom is coming in right now. So we could be seeing 2K scenarios, typically what we see in the zone right here. And I'm glad my transaction didn't go through. It was actually like, if I wanted to buy this Benny right now, I would have had to take a big hit because price impact was freaking high because of volatility. But what we're probably seeing right now is going to be a head and shoulder, a cup and handle pattern, where we're probably going to go ahead and try to have that last final dump get rejected. We could probably consolidate here for a while, or we could just have that instant breakout to the upside. So as you're seeing, a lot of these tokens are now finally having somewhat of a reversal, and the tokens that were pumping these last couple days are now finally in a retracement zone, right? As the market was red, Andy on ETH was pumping. Now that we're seeing the crypto market right now kind of slightly recover, we're seeing a lot of that bullish action coming back into the space. Like literally Benny was at 5 million market cap, I believe, not that long ago before I started the stream, and now we're back at 2.69 million, right? So we're going to go ahead and see where things go. Let's see if this is going to be a cup and handle pattern. It looks like it clearly, but we can't rely too much on these patterns, right? Because you know we we will get wrecked if we do go ahead and rely on those too much. But it is looking pretty freaking bullish in my opinion. This thing's literally dumping, man. Like, whales are just dumping the freaking chart on this resistance, and it does look like they're probably going to eat it up as well on that dip before that massive. I mean, we're not that far away from that breakout. I mean, if you were to measure this zone right here to where we're at, that's about a 1x, right? We're not that far away from that new all-time high, and I think that its all-time high was a little bit over 8 million. I think it might have been 7 to 8 million market cap, or maybe I think it was 10 million. So even at a 2 million market cap, that's a steal in my opinion. I think anything under 10 million, it's a steal for Benny, and the same thing goes for this other token, Andy. Anything for Andy right now is a steal. Like, if you could go ahead and get Andy under 30 million market cap, I think that's going to be a really good buy. Even under 50 to 100 million, right? Because I do think 100 million plus is going to be happening with this token. It's just a matter of when that's going to happen, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to pick up on that as well. So enough with that being said on Benny. Right now, looking at Brett, we do see that Brett was getting closer to approaching that 1 billion market cap, these last couple of days. It was within this range where it was consolidating. It found its top and now is looking for its bottom. So we're going to go ahead and see where the area of support is found. I think it's going to be within a zone right here. We are seeing still a lot of selling pressure. We haven't seen a lot of buying pressure just yet. So we do need to get a little bit more buying pressure before we do find that bottom for Brett. But as I mentioned, I do believe this is more of a longer term play as well. I think with these plays that we're looking at with what is it called? With base, these tokens are worth just being patient with. Even if we change the chart to log, you do see that it looks pretty bullish, man. I mean, it looks like this is the area of support around here, and it also looks like this thing's going to be having another run up, maybe in the near future as well. Do you think Buffy on Tune will? You think Buffy on Tune will do something similar? Someone says it is the name of a Telegram's founder's dog. That sounds pretty bullish, man. Buffy. Is Buffy on Dex Tools? I don't think Buffy is on... I don't think Ton is on Dex Tools. Let me check. It's like they have every freaking blockchain besides that. Like, who the heck are... What are half these other blockchains, man? Like, straight up. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over to Dex Screener. Gecko Terminal is a good one. Let me go ahead and switch over to Dex Screener because I know Dex Screener should have it. I haven't been playing freaking Solana tokens, man. Solana tokens have been just total rugs. Maybe we'll launch one together on stream, but yeah, not so right now. I'm freaking staying away from Solana tokens, bro. Gotten wrecked too many freaking times. Buffy. Let's look at Buffy. Buffy the cat. Is this it right here? Oh, that's on base. $2.1 million. Cryptocurrency and movement named after Telegram's Ton-chain founder Pavel Devore's dog Buffy, providing value and voice to the open network. This sounds pretty bullish, man. It looks like this thing just went live a few days ago. The only thing that I'm quite, a little concerned with is the liquidity. It looks like it's been out for about 3 months. So let's go ahead and look at this. Let's go ahead and look at this token on another terminal. Gecko, you said Gecko terminal? Man, this thing's laggy. I know redo's the move, man. That's what we gotta ape into. Dude, everything's being freaking laggy on my end right now. I think it's maybe because I'm live streaming, to be honest. Internet can't take it. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at, you said it was Buffy. It's $1.93. Okay, see, the liquidity was very, very freaking different there. It said 2,000 of liquidity, but right here actually shows 162,000 of liquidity. Market cap is at 1.94, and it's been out for over 3 freaking months. So, dude, honestly, yeah, I mean, this also looks pretty bullish in my opinion. We do see that it has done over a 10 to 12x. And you know, with that being said, this is probably going to be a very bullish narrative on its own right now. This looks pretty bullish. I guess it's like a bullish triangle, bullish pendant, a bull flag. You could also, you know, call it a bull flag if you want. But this thing's going to get ready to break out to the upside, and we could be seeing Buffy at $10 plus with this thing right here. I think we might actually even see it, you know, towards a $20 to $30 mark. So we could be expecting another additional 30 to 50x in my opinion as more liquidity starts to pour into Telegram. So it's, you know, it's surpassing the bigger blockchains. So that should already say a lot, right? So appreciate you that on that, Jonathan. So good looks on that alpha. Definitely right now there is a little bit more selling pressure. It's a little bit, I would say, neutral because there's not that much selling pressure. It's 52.43. But we're going to go ahead and see where this thing plays out. If I do come across some gains or some money, I'll definitely go ahead and start transacting in Buffy. I do think that Buffy is going to be the move, man. Anything related to Ton, in my opinion, is going to be the move. Is this the correct one? Or is this a different token? Pretty sure this is the correct one. But yeah, no, this thing's looking freaking bullish, bro. This is pretty bullish. Yeah, I like that. It's going to be the next move. It's going to be Buffy. So I'm saving that one. I'm going to save it on my Dex tool so I won't forget. Can we save it on Dex tools? No, we can't. All right, that is the correct one. Nice. So how you been, man? Long time no see. But anyways, it looks like right now we are seeing a slight little market, what is it? Little correction right now. I don't know why again, but we are seeing a little dump. It's because we did pump quite pretty freaking fast, man. Like, to be honest, like I saw Andy at like 7 million market cap yesterday, and I bought the dip on that. I sold at a loss on a few projects, and I ended up buying Andy. I loaded up on like 7 million market cap again, and then just now before the live stream started, I think I loaded up at like 10 or 11 million again. So I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? So we do see that we are back at 9 million. I wish I would have waited a little bit. I kind of had a feeling we were going to go ahead and have a small little retracement on that. Hopefully that's not a full-on fake out where we're just going to freaking dump, because that's going to freaking suck for me. But regardless of the fact, as I mentioned, I'm pretty bullish with what we're seeing right now in the markets for Andy and all these other base tokens in general, right? And I do believe TON is going to be the move as well moving forward. So definitely go ahead and be prepared for this run up that I believe will be happening very soon. And we're going to go ahead and talk about some Bitcoin real quick. Let's go ahead and look at the charts on Bitcoin. Looking at the fear and greed chart right now, we do see that we are at 66 on greed. Last week we were at 72. Bitcoin dominance is slightly up right now at 51.7%. What is your thoughts on the DXY chart? Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We're seeing right now in the crypto bubbles. You know, the market slightly recover on the day. We do still see a little bit of red, but I do believe that by next week we should be getting a better understanding if we're going to continue on with this correction or if we're finally going to go ahead and have this rebound in the market, right? Looking at the hourly, we do see that the market has slightly corrected once again. Looking at, we're going to go ahead and start off looking at the charts with the DXY. We do see right now that the DXY is approaching some high levels of resistance. I think I talked about this on the last live stream, but right now the DXY is reaching our previous highs, man. It's freaking crazy. It almost felt like yesterday when we were at the zone right here, and right now we're seeing the DXY bounce back up from March all the way to the zone right here. So it almost feels like we kind of ran up a little too quick in my opinion. But looking at the DXY, I do believe we are approaching this area of resistance right here. We could be seeing two possibilities right now play out. Is we could go ahead and be seeing this form some sort of cup and handle pattern. We will go ahead and see the market slightly correct, probably consolidate here for a while before trying to retest this area one more time at the 107 and above, and then see the DXY make new all-time highs. If all of you have been following me for a while, I've been telling chat that I do believe that the DXY is going to be as high as this zone right here, which is 140, right? So we are quite far from reaching that area right now. So I do think that this is going to happen. And as the dollar goes up, when it starts falling down, that's when the biggest bull run is going to happen, right? In my opinion. So it's not looking too good for the markets overall for us to reach that zone. But as far as the DXY, it does look like resistance it's being approached. It's being approached right now at the moment. Now the question is, are we going to go ahead and hold on to that, or are we going to go ahead and get rejected, right? I do believe that we will go ahead and get rejected. Typically on the RSI, every time we enter the zone right here and we get into that overbought territory, we do go ahead and slightly start to trend down. As you see right here, both this zone right here and this, you do see that once the RSI started approaching that overbought territory, we did see that correction to the downside. And as well, for the bottom on the RSI, when it touches the bottom right here, as you see, when it has this oversold, like we saw right here during this time around July, we did see that major reversal to the upside, right? This is actually when I was longing cryptocurrencies was within the zone. So if we were to go ahead and see something very similar to the DXY, which I do believe we will see, we will go ahead and see either one of these two things, where we will go ahead and see the DXY finally break out of the zone right here, which I kind of doubt it, but anything is possible. Or what we're going to go ahead and see is we're going to go ahead and see it touch the 107 and slightly probably even the 108 and probably consolidate in this range for a few days or for a while, few months, before we see a breakout to the upside. If you actually go ahead and look at the charts very closely right here at the zone, we do see that if we were to measure this bottom right here on the DXY to where we found the top, that we actually consolidated within this range for about 33 days. So it was a little bit over a month. So like about a month and a few days, right? Where we saw the DXY consolidate within the zone before it started retracing to the downside. So this is actually something we could go ahead and see, where we will go ahead and see the DXY consolidate within this range, in my opinion, for about almost the same, maybe a month to half a to a month to a half of month to a month to a half of a month as well. within this consolidation zone before we see a major breakout to the upside and retest those areas of resistance, right? As I mentioned, this is typical what we see with the DXY. Every time it touches these zones right here, we usually find a top in the market. So this is not something that I'm just saying. It's facts. You know what I mean? It's facts. So the DXY could slightly go up a little bit. Could probably go ahead and retest. Probably the 107 one more time. Entertain that zone before it dumps, and then probably consolidates for a while and probably stays within this range before having that momentum to break out to that resistance on this strong area of the 107.431 on the DXY. So DXY, that means it's pretty bullish for the market, right? As we see the DXY get hit, we typically see a weaker dollar means a stronger crypto and stock market. So that means the correction is coming soon. The correction is coming soon. It should be over in the next coming days, and we should probably definitely be seeing some sort of rebound in the market. So that is a good sign as far as the DXY. Looking at Bitcoin right now at the moment, I do believe that what's going to happen with Bitcoin, we are seeing on the daily, we are seeing a major cup and handle pattern. So I do believe that if we were to see Bitcoin come down, the lowest we'll probably see it within the range is around $51, right? I do think that that's a pretty good area and a pretty healthy correction if we were to go ahead and see that on Bitcoin. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that it means there could be a possibility that does happen, right? We do need to keep in mind that one support becomes resistance, so maybe this is the area of support. This $60,000 range is the area of support, and what I'm looking at right now very carefully is if we actually go ahead and analyze this, we do see that in the past we did actually see Bitcoin print this inverse head and shoulders pattern right here at the bottom, right here at the zone where a lot of you were actually wanting to short the market. And I told a lot of you not to go ahead and do that. A lot of people wanted to short the market within the zone right here. And I told all of you not to go ahead and do it because it was an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And there was a lot of strong liquidations within the zone right here, right? Which caused the Bitcoin short squeeze, pushing Bitcoin from this $43,000 range to Bitcoin being at $72,000, which literally doubled from this zone right here from February all the way up to March. We saw that major pump onto Bitcoin, right? So right now what we're seeing with Bitcoin, it's a very similar structure right now. I do think that this is either two case scenarios, right? Scenario number one, first scenario is that the top is in for Bitcoin and we are looking for that area of support to be found, which could be within this range right here around the $51,000 range. Might entertain this zone or maybe even go as low as $40,000 before we go ahead and make new all-time highs, which would still be very bullish, and especially more bullish for altcoins and meme tokens as Bitcoin dominance drops, right? Bullish case scenario for Bitcoin would mean that right now Bitcoin is going to have another a last fake out, similar to like what we had within the zone right here, where we went ahead and shook everybody out of the market, out of their long positions, got everybody to short the market, and then we had a short squeeze to the upside. So this could be another scenario where we see Bitcoin also print an inverse head and shoulders pattern where we might go ahead and see the market slightly dump with the last fake out of Bitcoin touching $57,000, reversing back up, and then doing a moonshot all the way up, passing the previous resistance at $75,000 and probably finding its top at $85,000, which will be a short squeeze. And if we were to go ahead and see this move happen right here in the next coming days to weeks, that would mean that then Bitcoin dominance will definitely go ahead and shift right here, and that would be the start of altcoin season and meme coin season. So in my opinion, I think this is looking pretty bullish for Bitcoin regardless of the case. As I mentioned, bearish, I guess it depends on where you are in the market, right? Like if you're trying to long Bitcoin, I guess scenario number one does seem a little bearish, right? Where this is the top for Bitcoin and it's looking for a bottom and it might be $40,000, right? and then it's going to be within this range where it's going to consolidate before a major breakout again and making new all-time highs. Regardless of the case, I do believe that if this is a top for Bitcoin, which I really doubt, I would wish it was, but if this is the top for Bitcoin, that means meme coin season and altcoin season are around the corner. That means Bitcoin dominance is shifting. But as we could go ahead and see in the chart, it seems like Bitcoin dominance is still at 51%, right? So I would like to go ahead and see Bitcoin top off already. I'm tired of Bitcoin. I don't participate in Bitcoin, so I could really care less. If we do go ahead and find that bottom in Bitcoin, I would be interested in longing. But besides that, like I mentioned, worst case scenario, this is the top for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to retrace at $40,000. Altcoin meme coin season starts. Everybody starts making crazy money. Everybody's happy. And that's what happens. But a lot of people lose money within this trade right here in Bitcoin. Scenario number 2 is that it's going to print an inverse head and shoulders pattern. It's going to go ahead and shake out the freaking longs and the shorts one last time. Or sorry, the longs and the shorts, because we could probably see this kind of movement. Shake out the longs one more time right here with the liquidity grab, then have a massive rebound, and then this is going to be the start where, you know, we should probably be placing some trades at $65,000, meaning we will be seeing Bitcoin go towards that $85,000 range, which if you measure from this top, that's about a 32% move, right? With leverage, that's a really nice trade. And then after we find Bitcoin at $85,000 in the next coming days or weeks, this will be the official top for Bitcoin in this moment. And then we're going to go ahead and see Bitcoin probably dump, if not to $60,000 again, and probably be within this range boring for a while as meme tokens take off. Or we're probably going to go ahead and see, you know, Bitcoin top off at 85,000, come back down to 40,000, consolidate here for a while. And then coming towards the election and all of that, we are going to then see Bitcoin come back up, then make that new all-time high, which I do believe is going to be around $150,000 Bitcoin. So if you zoom out, it seems pretty realistic, right? If you say, you know, $85,000, you know, Bitcoin reaches $85,000 in the next coming days, from 150, that's about only an 80% pump. So it's nothing unrealistic, right? So I do believe that we will be seeing the top of this market, in my opinion. I will be looking to exit a lot of positions within around November and August, depending on where the market is, unless the market is giving us signs that Bitcoin will be pushing $200,000. But I think this is the max, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see Bitcoin going any further than $250,000 this bull run. I think 150 tops, 180 will be the top. But if I was to be a little bit more bullish, and I guess extremely bullish, I would say the top will be around $200,000. And that will be the top for Bitcoin. So I would say within this range right here will be the top for Bitcoin. I don't know where the top will be, but I'm predicting that this is where the top for Bitcoin is going to be. And then that's where this is where we should be exiting most of our positions at this point right here with altcoins, because once we have that last Bitcoin dump, we're going to have that dominant shift. We're going to have altcoins and meme tokens run up one last time, and then that's going to be the end of the bull market, right? So that's going to be around 2025. If we do see in the chart, I think around 2025, I'm calling May. I think Bitcoin's going to top around 2025 of February, I think, in my opinion, around that zone. And then meme coins are going to run up last of April, and then that's going to be the end of the bull market, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, we should be happy by then. We should all have, hopefully, all be millionaires by then, right? Because if we do position ourselves in those early on positions and be willing to take those risks on those tokens on base, such as, you know, Andy, such as Brett, such as Benny, such as, you know, investing early on into Ton, if we're willing to take those risks early on, even with a few $100s, we could go ahead and reap hundreds of thousands of dollars for being early visionaries, right? So I do believe, regardless of the fact we still have enough time to go ahead and run up with this bull run. So I'm definitely excited, looking forward to what this bull market brings us. And most importantly, I'm actually more excited to be back on live. You know, it's been a while since we've been on stream, so I feel pretty great and excited to go ahead and see that. Looking at the US 100 too as well, we do see that the US 100 has now found its bottom. I talked about this on the last live stream, that we were doing this cup and handle pattern, and we did see that major breakout, right? We have found this area of resistance at 18,497, and I do believe that this is going to be a nice area of support being found within this range. So we should be seeing some sort of reversal and rebound in the market in the next, probably by next week, week and a half. We should be seeing some green in the market as the stock market makes new all-time highs and as crypto makes new all-time highs, right? But this is definitely a correction that was needed. As you see, even for the US 100, we've done nothing but run up these last couple months alongside with Bitcoin, right? I mean, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of literally green on the US 100. And looking at this, downside, we are going to be getting ready to have that massive reversal, right? So we could be seeing either two case scenarios where, Bitcoin finally tops off and we are going to be seeing a little bit more shakeup in the market, or we're going to go ahead and see Bitcoin do its last final pump before finding that top, and then we're going to have to wait for Bitcoin to approach 150 to 200,000 market cap. But I think overall, even with the US 100, as I mentioned, the US 100 is looking bullish. The DXY is looking bullish as well, meaning that it is reaching the top, and the US 100 still has more than plenty than enough room for that top. As you see right here on the RSI, when it got into this overbought territory, you do see that it did ended up correcting, and right now we're not even nowhere near that zone right now, right? So this correction to the downside is actually very, very bullish before we see that major breakout and then start entering the overbought territory, which we could actually hang in there for a while before we go ahead and retrace, right? So I do think we're going to go ahead and have that a retracement before the presidential election in the US, and then during that time I think we might go ahead and see stocks either stay stagnant or start pumping as soon as the election is over with, right? So it's going to definitely be a very volatile time in the market, and I'm definitely looking forward to what this market brings us. So I'm very, very freaking excited. So maybe the Slothana timing is legit. Yeah, dude. So it's actually interesting. I do believe May is going to be the month where we will see a reversal in altcoins and meme tokens. So it could be good for Slothana to go ahead and be doing what they're doing. The thing that I found very interesting on that, they are going to be releasing around May. I think they've been taking a little too long, man, but I hope, fingers crossed, and honestly, I don't blame him, because it's honestly not the best time to go ahead and launch a project. This is probably like the worst time to launch a token, to be honest. We have about 10 days left for Slothana to go ahead and launch for its pre-sale. They've raised over $10 million, and right now, if we go ahead and see the time that we're in, right now it's the 18th. This is going to be live in 10 days. So it says it's going to be around the 28th to the 29th of April, which actually seems pretty bullish. If we do launch within that time, we should be seeing a reversal in the market. So I do believe that towards the end of April, towards the beginning of May, we should be seeing that reversal in the market. So I think worst comes to worst. Worst case scenario is we go ahead and don't have a reversal next week, but we'll have it in the middle of the week. So it's either we have a reversal tomorrow and we finish the market green, and that's going to be an indicator for a bullish market coming the next week, or worst case scenario is we end red on the stock market tomorrow, and then we start having the reversal around April 25th, and then that would lead us to Monday, April 29th, then being a fresh start of almost a month, and that's where the actual full reversal will come in hand, right? So I don't know. That's what my predictions are, but I do believe that we will be seeing that reversal coming very soon in the next week to week and a half. I would say at the most, give or take 3 weeks. Give it 3 more weeks, and we should be seeing a bullish market back again. 420 is weed day. That's the eyes are red for Solana, a secret message. Yeah, man. I mean, 420 is in 2 days, in like 2 to 3 days, but on their website it says 10 days till launch. So they should have done it on 420. It looks like they might not do it on 420, but I guess it works out either way, man. Honestly, I don't have any hope for these pre-sales anymore. Base was kind of like that one. Unless APE makes it up, I hope I could get to the point where I could break even or something. But with APE, man, it's like I think that's already a loss. And even with Solana, I hope everything goes well in this launch, but I'm not really expecting much either. Like if I lose, I lose, right? I don't think I put in that much money. I think I might have put $200. I think Solana was worth about $200 at the time I sent the money. I don't even know what Sol's worth right now. It's probably under like $200 now. Let's go ahead and see. What is Solana? Yeah, Solana's $130, man. Even Solana's looking pretty bullish, man. See, this is what I'm saying. This market correction is not going to be too bad, guys. It's hitting us right now, but we will go ahead and see that reversal, and we will be seeing Solana hit $700 and $600 and above, where hopefully we make a lot of money to start longing a lot of these positions from the zone right here, because we'll definitely go ahead and see Solana hit, $600 plus. But yeah, that's how I feel about the market. I appreciate every one of you. Make sure to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. If you are looking for an exchange that requires no KYC, check out Blofin Exchange. They're giving all the way up to $5,000 in bonuses. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome, like, comment, and subscribe. This is DeFi John, and I'll catch all of you on to the next one. I appreciate all of you coming in, especially you, Jonathan.